Now it's time to see who has the heart.
If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential, to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners.
This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Welcome to a special edition of Applebee's Tailgate Talk, live on location. Don't go away, Applebee's Tailgate Talk is next. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens, Highway 72 West, just off I-65. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. One of your favorite teams is sure to be playing on the big screen, too. See you tomorrow at Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 Athens, just off I-65. Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon. Keep up with local school, travel, youth, and amateur sports throughout the week with the Play Action Sports Update. Listen weekday mornings at 7:30 and weekday afternoons at 1:30 and 3:30 as we bring you the latest scores, news, and announcements from Limestone County and surrounding communities. That's the Play Action Sports Update 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on 1080 WKAC.
Hey, this is Carly Hallman. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Good morning. This is Applebee's Tailgate Talk. We are live from the Von Braun Center. I am one Adam 12, Adam Dodson, alongside producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert and Todd the Bod. Todd, glad to have you back with us.
What's going on, buddy? How you been, man?
I've been good. I feel like I haven't seen you in like 6 weeks.
I know. It's been quite a while. Glad to be back with you.
Yeah, I know. Like I feel like last time I saw you, there wasn't even a war going on.
No, well, you're right.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
Yeah, so like I said, we are live from the VBC, the Huntsville Havoc. They got a game tonight against Fayetteville Marksmen, and we are happy to be here. What kind of show we got lined up?
And real quick, too, they also have the Legends game tonight, which I'm sporting one of the hockey sweaters from a past Legends game. So come out. That's going to support the Autism Resource Foundation. Today, real quick, before we get into sports, is April is Autism Acceptance Month, and April 2nd is World Autism Day. So
nice.
If you have any friends or family members that have an autistic an adult or child in their family, reach out to them, tell them you think about them, love on them, and maybe do a little special favor for them, whether or not today, sometime during the month of April. Show them how much you care.
Absolutely. That's a great way to start off the day. A little bit of positivity from Todd the Bod. There we go. So what kind of show we got lined up today, Mr. Producer Extraordinaire?
Well, sorry about that. We have Ted Sobel. I'm going to have to go back.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I thought it was Sobel.
Well, that's what I think it is. I don't know if he's got a pronunciation on his Facebook page like a lot of folks do.
He doesn't on his Twitter.
He doesn't? Okay.
No.
Well, let's see. I'm going to just step out and say Sobel. He's with the – come on now. My Facebook won't scroll here.
He's a tremendous reporter, been with different radio stations in the L.A. area. And
nice.
Written a book that's just, I guess, recently just came out. Isn't that right, Tim? Or has it been out?
It's been out maybe for a year or two.
Okay. Listen, this dude has led an extraordinary life. He's one of those people that others live through him vicariously, I guess.
Yeah.
A better word. Yeah. He's met so many famous people, from presidents to actors, and, of course, mostly athletes, and attended so many different huge sporting events. He's got a really great story, so he'll be an interesting dude to talk to.
Yeah, his book is about
touching
that.
greatness.
Yeah, touching greatness. It's about all his stories, I guess. And so we'll talk to him, and we'll have plenty of time to talk to him. So I know he's got a lot of folks to talk about. We'll have Coach Glenn Detulleo will be in later on in the show. Of course, like he said, they're playing again tonight. Had a tough loss last night.
Yeah,
was that 6-2?
6-2, and two of those goals were empty net goals by Fayetteville.
Oh, okay. I wondered because they seemed to come up pretty quick. So
yeah, and it was Fayetteville just jumped out on them by a couple of goals, and those two goals, I mean, they had to thread the needle to get them in there. I mean, it was like the upper corner of the goal that it got into, and they just, Fayetteville, Huntsville just never could bounce back. I mean, we thought they tried to mount a comeback, and then got later in the game, and that's when they tried the first goalie-less goal, and that backfired on them.
And Fayetteville's a possible team that they'll see, in the playoffs. So, not first round, but on down the road.
Yeah, and they don't even know who they're playing yet in the playoffs.
Well, it's tight finish all the way around from the bottom and the top, it looks like.
Yeah, I remember them saying that even a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
there's only like 3 games left, at least for the Havoc.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many Knoxville has, but Knoxville's 39-10, Havoc are 39-12. So obviously Knoxville's got a couple. I guess I don't know if those are some games they'll be able to make up. I don't know how they do that. Obviously they're a couple of games behind on the schedule.
Yeah, they could have been due to a lot of things. I mean, just scheduling issues. So I guess there'd be
there's one game out. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, that's kind of where you get to like the half games and stuff like that.
That's true.
Yeah, so like as far as the standings goes, but it's got to be pretty tough to bet on hockey because you get these empty net situations where someone's just kind of going full-fledged at you, and then you just get a couple cheap goals, and let's say you had like a 2.5 line, and you end up losing by 3 goals.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, I couldn't bet on hockey for sure.
No.
Yeah. First of the empty net goals was, the Havoc just let Fayetteville by him. One guy. And there he is, all by himself.
Yeah, if you're missing that, you're not a hockey player. Yeah.
And
I hope it wasn't one of those games where Coach Detulleo would question their effort. Maybe.
I didn't think.
Were they skating hard and hitting?
It looked. I've seen games where it just looked like they just, it just wasn't.
Some nights it's just not your night.
Yeah. And it was. I was talking to Clay Gully, the media director here to Havoc earlier today, and it was wow. when you get old, those thoughts just fly right out of your head. I can't remember what I was going to say.
Well, as old as you are.
Yeah,
wow.
I know
That's
it.
a few
I know
thoughts.
it. But anyway, oh, I know what it was. The shots on goal. I mean, the Havoc had about 20 more.
Yeah, they had
At
40
the point,
total.
Whenever I looked up at the scoreboard, it was in the third period, and the Havoc had about 20 more shots on goal, but yet they were behind 4-2.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
But
like you said, two of them were just, right there, barely could squeeze them in. That's kind of I won't say a luck thing. Obviously, these guys are tremendous at what they do, but, most of the time those kind of goals are going to be, hit the post or be blocked or, something.
And one of them might have. And then there was another one. I didn't even see it go in. I didn't know that they had scored till I saw the red light come on behind the goal.
Huh.
So it was quick.
Did y'all see what happened in that college hockey game in like the conference championship game where the team, I think it was like Minnesota Duluth or Minnesota State, something like that. So they go to sudden death overtime, and it was the conference championship game. Like winner goes to like the next round of they qualify for the next round of their tournament. And so that they win the game in overtime. They score the goal. Minnesota State is what I think it was, and they're celebrating. They got the trophy.
Yeah, they got the trophy.
Yeah, they got the trophy. They had champagne. I mean, the fans are celebrating. People are leaving, and most people left already. I'm surprised that the players and coaches hadn't already left already. But they bring in I guess their rules committee, like their commissioner and everything, and they go back and review the goal and saw that the net had the goalie had accidentally lifted up the net a little bit, and the puck had slid under the net.
Slid under.
So it was an illegal goal. So they had to get everyone out from the parking lot, the fans that were left.
Yeah, they were
hey, y'all get back in here.
It didn't like there was 200 people left back in the arena after a packed house prior.
So they had to put the trophy back. They had the players had to come back on the ice, and then they won it again. So they got to celebrate twice the same night.
How sad would it have been though for all those fans to leave,
man.
right, thinking they won, and then heard on the radio halfway home, What was it? What? We got beat? What do you mean? We were just there,
And this is Minnesota hockey we're talking
about.
Oh,
yeah. That's like our football.
Exactly,
so, yeah.
Kind of like their Heidi game.
Yeah. Yeah. With Adam's probably too young to even to know what that is.
I do not know what that is.
I can't remember what it was.
Super Bowl.
Was it the Super Bowl?
Yeah. It was the first Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure it was the first televised. Well, not the first Super Bowl. The first televised Super Bowl.
Okay.
Green Bay and whoever, I think. Tim's going to look it up while we're talking. And the movie Heidi was supposed to premiere that night.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the movie Heidi?
I've heard of the movie Heidi.
Okay.
I think I've seen the movie
And NBC, whoever it was, broadcasting the game, cuts the Super Bowl off short. And,
really?
Yeah, to go to Heidi. And, and I'm getting some of this wrong because I was born, but I was a baby.
Right.
It was born. It was 64. I wasn't even born probably. What year was it?
Well, it was 1968 between Oakland and New York Jets.
Okay.
So, and I don't think it was. I don't know that it was a big game, but they started
I thought it was
the
a
movie.
Super Bowl though.
They started the movie and.
Well, I feel like back then every game was a big game that was televised.
Yeah, it was right when they first started. Yeah,
there was only like 3 channels back then, like before my time, but. Yeah, so I feel like every televised game, regardless, it could have been.
It's not like it was now where
Lions.
you can catch every.
Oh yeah, now you get Red Zone, you get Sunday Ticket. I mean, you get reruns of games. I mean, I was at a bar last night, and one of the TVs just had some random Buccaneers game on. I saw Brady up there. I'm just like, okay, well that's interesting. And I was at somewhere on Sunday, sports bar, and. So they got about 40. They got about 40 TVs in this establishment, and this is the Elite Eight day of the Elite Eight Sunday. Not a single TV in this sports bar establishment in Tuscaloosa. 40 TVs had March Madness on.
That's not much of a sports bar.
They had Chive TV on. They had Fail TV on. I didn't even know Fail TV was a thing. I mean, they had Spike Ball. I mean, they had basically everything under the sun other than the main event.
Was it more geared for college kids?
But I mean, if it was geared for college kids, I feel like they'd have the game on. I mean, I feel like college kids gamble as much as anybody, especially all that kind of stuff.
Weird. Yeah, when you got to walk into the sports bar and say, hey, can you please put on the Elite Eight?
Yeah,
you might have a problem.
I may have had a little bit of an attitude, but that's another story.
Okay, well, you can also hear us on our Alexa app by saying...
Play Tailgate Talk.
Or, Alexa,
play Tailgate Talk.
There we go. I forgot the crucial word there. Or your Google device by saying, "Hey, Google,
play Applebee's Tailgate Talk,"
and listen to us every Saturday. And hey, I see. What do you see? I see the fan favorite walking in here. Come on over here. This is a bonus.
Producer just grabbing people off the street.
Yeah. We have got my granddaughter's favorite player of the Havoc.
Everyone,
pick up the headset there. We have Tyler Piacentini coming in, and I just did not. I wasn't expecting a player. We usually get Coach Detulleo on, and
I don't think Tyler was expecting to be snatched up.
Let's see, we just get it.
It's great to see.
What
you
kind
guys.
of dedication is that, man? Show up 8 hours before you got to be on the ice.
Yeah,
I love it, dude.
A little morning skate. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I should have known he wasn't coming in just for us.
Yeah, I might have came in just because of you guys.
There we go.
That's
Thank you.
like
It sounds good anyway.
Nice save there.
Yeah, nice save. So how you doing, man?
Good.
Rough night last night?
Yeah. It was tough, but I think we played pretty well the second half of the game. So I think we'll be ready to go tonight.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, and Tyler's much bigger in person than he appears on ice.
You think so?
I'm trying to build you up, brother. I'm right there with you. So, tell everybody how long you've been with the Havoc, man.
Yeah, this is my 5th year down here.
Seems longer to a fan.
Yeah.
To you, obviously, it's probably time's just flying by. But
yeah. I mean, both. It's kind of crazy to think I've been down here for 5 years, but it's been great. I love it down here.
Well, I was about to say, how's the experience been for you those 5 years, just in Huntsville in general? Just like how's the city been for you?
Oh, it's been awesome.
Yeah,
it's been unbelievable. Yeah. I never thought I'd be in Alabama playing hockey.
Yeah, I'm sure, man.
Being from the Northeast, but I mean, I love it. I love playing here. The organization's awesome. The weather, living down here is awesome. Yeah. So I'm pretty lucky. I get a lot of family and friends that come down.
That's awesome.
I got two of my good buddies over there right now.
Oh, great.
From home, so they love coming down too. So
where is home?
Just south of Boston, Weymouth, Massachusetts.
Oh, so.
Yeah, we get the little Massachusetts accent coming through a little bit. I'm sure you could go deeper.
Yeah, I could. I think I've lost it a little.
You think?
I think I've lost it a little bit. You're
a young guy, so being around the Southerners, we probably rubbed off on you a little bit.
You're gonna get like a South Boston, North Alabama mixture.
Yeah.
You probably let a y'all slip out.
Yeah,
all right.
A little bit. Every time when I'm home, my buddy's like, "What are you saying?"
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just easy to say y'all right now.
That's right.
So.
Instead of you are or what?
Yeah.
What do y'all say instead of y'all?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Just one word says it all. Y'all.
Yeah. I used to live up in Indiana, and I went up saying y'all and came back saying you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that might have been a Boston thing, you guys.
You guys or you are. Yeah, like.
What are you guys?
What are you guys doing? And it's what are y'all doing now, right? So.
Well, being down here, and I'm sure by now at this point, you realize, you're a star. You are. You're a Huntsville Havoc mainstay that people love. I'm sure it's somewhat you hear the cheers from time to time on the ice. Just personally, how does that make you feel, man?
Yeah.
Everybody loves you, and listen, you're not the biggest dude on the ice, but man, honestly, you are just tremendous. You're so fast, and you're not afraid to get in there and hit, and you're incredible to watch. You really are.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, it's unbelievable, to be honest. It's something I don't take for granted. Like every home game or something, I hear the cheers and stuff. So I think kind of being as small as I am, that helps out a little bit. But I just try every night to. Just to work hard and be a hard worker. And I think it's kind of a good, I had some people that I looked up to when I was younger that were small like myself. And I think it's kind of something to look at where, if you're small, like you got to use that to your advantage on the ice.
Absolutely.
There's stuff that someone that's 6'5" can't really do as well as someone that's 5'5" like myself.
You're probably a lot more nimble.
Yeah. So you got to take advantage of what you have. I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and be 6 feet. So I know what I have, so I gotta try to work on that and be better and be the best I can with what I have.
So with you being on the team 5 years, does that make you like one of the longest tenured players on the team right now?
There's Nolan Kaiser. This is his 7th year. Cy Nukovic, 6th year. It's my 5th, and Rob Durar's 4th year.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have some guys that have been here. We have a good group of core guys, but I think it just kind of speaks for this organization how awesome it is to play for the Havoc.
Yeah.
For Coach Detulleo and the coaching staff, and obviously just being in Huntsville, the city itself.
How unusual, or is it unusual to have 4 or 5 mainstay guys like that on the team and at this level of hockey? Is that kind of unusual, or?
Yeah, it is.
That's what I thought. Maybe
it is. Yeah.
So you're right. I guess it does say a lot for the Havoc
it does. It's
organization.
I think it's pretty unusual, but yeah, I think it just speaks for what, Keith and Becky Jeffries, what they've done with this organization and just being here in Huntsville. I think that obviously it wants guys to come back, so it's been great. I mean, everyone, even the first year guys, they all love playing here and living here. So
yeah.
Well,
Clay Coleman has told us about some of the guys who have moved up and then come back, and they're like, "Man, I'd rather be here."
Yeah.
Than
I've heard guys say that. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like the minor pro leagues like this and the East Coast Hockey League, like I might be a little biased, but I think Huntsville's, up there. One of the top teams and organizations and cities to play in. Just with everything, the fan base is incredible. So.
I think somebody's wondering where you're at.
I was just stopping by.
We roped him in when he came in the front door. So
I'll let Coach Detulleo get on.
We're going to let you go, man. Thanks so much for joining us, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Well, let's take a break, and then we'll get Coach Detulleo on.
Sounds good.
P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens. Your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
If you're running out of space and a yard sale just isn't an option, Midpoint Storage and Buddy Box Storage gives you the choice. Midpoint Storage on Highway 72 East has traditional or climate-controlled units along with spaces for your boat or RV. Buddy Box offers convenient, secured, portable storage units delivered right to your home. They're both locally owned, too. Call 256-800-4249. Look for them on Facebook or online at midpoint.storage.com or buddyboxstorage.com. It's a win-win situation. Midpoint Storage and Buddy Box Storage. 256-800-4249.
Are your broadband needs growing like wildflowers? Ardmore Telephone Company's fiber fast internet can help. Spruce up your speed with ATC today. Give us a call at 800-830-9946 to upgrade this spring. New internet customers get the first month free. Broadband speeds are based on best availability in your area. Fiber internet is not available in all areas.
Be listening for Limestone County area high school baseball action this season from Play Action Sports. Your coverage of ABS, Ardmore, Athens, Clements, East Limestone, Elkmont, James Clemens, Lindsay Lane, Tanner, and West Limestone online at PASnetwork.net on your Amazon Echo device or on your Play Action Sports app. Afterwards, you can download each game from the archives or stream it on demand. While you're there, check out our schedule of upcoming games. Limestone County area high school baseball from Play Action Sports.
Hey, this is Charles Morrison, varsity baseball coach with Lindsay Lane Christian Academy, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, live from the Von Braun Center. I am 1 Adam 12 Adam Dodson, live with the extraordinary producer Tim Lambert, along with Todd the Bod, and we have a special guest with us today. We have the head coach of the Huntsville Havoc. We have Coach Detulleo. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, so just tell us what's been going on. I know y'all had a game last night. Obviously, y'all have another game tonight. Just tell us how you feel about the season so far and what you're looking forward to.
Yeah, we've had a great season so far. Obviously, a little bit of a hiccup last night, but we put ourselves in a situation here with 3 games left. We're still battling for first place, so. I think when the puck dropped in game 1, if you asked us if we'd want to be in this situation, I think 100% out of you take it 100% of the time. So the fact that we're still battling here for home ice in the playoffs, I think, is huge, and just really excited to see how the guys respond tonight after last night's game.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, well, I think if y'all proven anything this year, y'all know how to respond. So I think the track record would prove that y'all would come out tonight and y'all are going to play well and respond well, is what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the one thing with our group is, they find ways to win, different ways to win. And, listen, I think at the end of the day, there's internal motivation and pretty competitive group. So, I think the guys after the game last night, you can tell they weren't happy. And I really felt, the energy this morning, there was a lot of focus there. And I think there's some excitement to get back at it. You're playing the same team that beat you. Less than 24 hours later, you get another crack at it. I mean, as an athlete, I mean, it's exactly what you want. So I think the guys are excited for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you're going into, what year is this now with you for the Havoc?
My 10th year coaching.
Oh, my God. I was going to say 8. So that's why I was telling Tyler, time just seems to go by. I didn't realize it was his 5th.
Yep.
You have, honestly changed, the face of hockey in this area. I mean, in this state, and especially, obviously, in Huntsville. I mean, the success you've had. And we're blessed, honestly, for those that love hockey and love coming to these games, to have kept you as long as we have. I mean, it's the truth. I mean, we've said this many times without you obviously sitting here, but I'm not trying to get all up in your business, but I mean, obviously, you've probably had opportunities offered.
Sure.
Is that something that and you have family and kids, and this area is a great area for those things, and I'm sure that obviously plays a lot into your decision as to where you might possibly ever go if you go. But your kids are school age now, correct?
Yeah, I've got my oldest is going to be 16 here. I've got a 14-year-old, and then I got one that's going to be 11. So
holy smokes.
We've been locked in here pretty good.
Yeah.
Listen, I love everything about this organization. I mean, it starts with Keith and Becky. I mean, I don't think you could ask for 2 better owners. I mean, I feel like they're part of my family, or I'm part of their family, and I haven't really had a desire to look. I mean, my family's happy here. My wife had a business here for a long time, and my kids, have been in school here. Like, we love it here, and man, like, you just walk in the building here on a Friday and Saturday night, the fan support we have here. The city in general. I mean, I don't know. I have friends that coach at every level. The truth of the matter is, we're all doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And whether you're doing it here or you're doing it at the next level, I'm doing the exact same job. So the grass isn't always greener.
Right.
I just love everything about being part of this, and I think what's so unique here in Huntsville, what we've created, it really is a family. Our owners, it starts with them. Our office staff, I think they do a great job of being a part of. They interact with the players. Everybody's working together to build something here. And you've had a chance to interview some of our players. They're incredible human beings, first of all.
Right.
I mean, we bring in guys that just, when they walk in, they buy into being part of the Havoc and being part of the city. And it doesn't feel like work. I don't think I've had a day of work since I've been here. I love coming to the rink every day, get excited, and you lose a tough one last night, and you come to the rink in the morning, and I'm around these guys, and it's just so much fun. So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy, and that's what you're trying to find, is something you love to do and somewhere you want to be, and I love it here.
Yeah. Well, the word that comes to me is longevity. So Havoc's been around a long time in Huntsville. I mean, there's fans that have been cheering on the Havoc since their beginning, and then there's players that we were just talking to. He's been here 5 years. There's another that's been here 7 years or whatever. Another that's been here 4, and then you've been here 10. It seems like longevity and loyalty really seems to matter here for Huntsville and the Havoc.
Yeah, one thing I try to say is, I'm not coaching hockey players. I'm coaching people that play hockey. And it's a huge difference, nobody here is going to retire based on what they're making playing at this level. I think we all know that. But, the players are the ones that are on the ice physically putting their bodies on the line for the whole business to work, right? Yeah. And you have to remember that they are people, and they're doing things, they're sacrificing a lot of things to be a part of this, and it's just a constant reminder that they are people, and sometimes you feel like you could maybe bring in a player that might be just a little bit better, maybe, but I'm always going to err on the side of, is he a better person, and if he's been here and has done everything I've asked, I just believe when it comes down to it, the fact that the group cares for each other and they're playing for something, I think that outweighs having maybe 2 or 3 better hockey players. And you're not going to win every year, but you're going to give yourself a chance to win every year. And I think the most important thing is you ask our guys. I think they genuinely enjoy coming to the rink every day. And you're practicing a lot more than you're playing, and the games are when you want to. I mean, the guys love the games. Obviously, it's what you live for. But
right.
They come to the rink on a February Monday, just kind of the dog days, and you know what? The energy's fantastic, and they're having fun, and they're loving it, and that's why you have guys that play 4 or 5 years. It's hard to walk away from the lifestyle when you come to the rink. It's fun. You've got 5,000 fans cheering for you. When you walk away from hockey. And you're working a day-to-day job, there's nobody cheering for you, and I think, like I said, our owners have allowed us to really make sure we treat our players the right way, and they just want to come back and they give their heart and souls for us, and that's all we can ask for, really. And and you hope that more nights than not it leads to a win, and you're hoping that some years you win a championship, and we'd love to do the same thing this year.
Yeah. So. And recently, a lot of that goes back to you, and hats off to you for that. You've created this atmosphere of family and loyalty and all that, obviously with the help of the Jeffries. But, it means a lot, talking to Tyler. He said a lot of the same things you just said. Going back to now, were you able to attend a Havoc game prior to you accepting this job, or had you?
Well, I played.
You played.
Yeah. Yep.
But, and I do remember that. But, I mean, it was a little different then.
Yep.
It was kind of, I won't say on the downside. I go all the way back to the Blast days.
Yep.
But I don't know. It just seemed like it was stale a little bit for a period of time there.
Yeah.
And you've just been able to just bring it up to such a high level.
Yeah, and I think, I think it all happened at the same time. I think, I made a lot of mistakes early on coaching. I mean, we didn't have always phenomenal years on the ice. And part of any job is learning, experience. And, I made some mistakes early on, again, hunting talent over people and character. And, you're just trying to hang on to your job so bad, and you're worried about winning every single game that you maybe compromise sometimes.
A lot of pressure.
Listen, you got to learn. And again, I was able to make those mistakes. I had an ownership group that allowed me to have some average or subpar seasons and allowed me to develop as a coach. And, I'm thankful for that. And we were able to turn things around. And at the same time, the office staff upstairs were doing the same thing. Brought in some people that had some creative ideas, and they started knocking it out of the park. And it was just a perfect storm of, I think the product in the stands, the entertainment, the game day operations. I think that got better and better. And at the same time, the team was getting better and better. And then now when you walk through the doors, it's like going to a mini NHL game. You know, the energy is fantastic, and we've had a pretty talented group of players here that play well, and it just feels like everything's kind of happened at the right time and worked together. So really, it's a team effort, top down.
Okay, now my question. We were talking about fans. Of course, you played, you coach. What is one of the biggest things that fans just don't get?
You know what? It's I'll say from a coaching standpoint, I think most of what coaches do are Monday through Thursday, not Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
We're instilling our game plan. We're working. We're doing all the work on the weekdays in practice. But to be quite honest with you, a lot of what happens Friday and Saturday is just the players have to play. I mean, you're trying to get the right guys on the ice and trying to get the right matchups. You might have a couple tweaks, but, I mean, you're really behind the bench. If you've done your job during the week, you're just behind the bench, giving some little nuggets of information. But, I think that's where the heavy lifting is. I think that's the one thing. Fights are real.
Yeah.
The punches hurt.
They hurt.
That puck, man, I'll tell you, you get hit with a puck, man. It's those things can sting.
Yeah.
It doesn't always look that way when you're, in the upper deck. The puck's not moving. Maybe it doesn't look like it's moving quite as fast. And I think, listen, the further away you get from the ice, the game looks so easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys can look so open. And you're like, man, like why does he make that pass? It's so obvious.
Yeah.
It's like when you're on the ice and you've got a fraction of a second, and there's 9 other people on the ice and things happen. I'm telling you, man, like that's the part of the game that even as a coach, when you're doing video, you can cut up a video and second guess every decision, but you forget that as a player, like it's happening so fast,
right?
And you don't have the perspective of the up above. Like you've got the perspective in tight, and you've got to make those split second decisions. So it's a game played at a high level, and you've got to make. It's not football where you can run a route and turn, in 20 yards to the right. Like a lot of hockey there's a lot of gray. You've got a game plan, but there's so much of it is you just got to make a read, trust your instincts, and you got to get after it. So
and react quickly to what the other team's doing as well.
Yep. And listen, and a lot of it is there's not a system that's better than somebody else's. There's only so many systems that are out there. It's the execution, and really what it comes down to is the intangibles. Like, I mean, are you really just outworking the other team, right? Are you are you playing with a little bit more passion? I mean, it's so cliche, but man, it always comes down to that 100%.
And last night, the game, there are times that I've come and watched, and I'm like, they just don't have it, tonight. But last night, it doesn't seem like it was a lack of effort.
No.
On the team. And I don't know that it's ever a lack of effort, but it's just like, sometimes it's just not as sharp.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just know it. You know what I mean? For whatever reason, it's just they're not connecting, and you just can't put your finger on it. Listen, last night got off to a little bit of a rough start.
Yeah.
And then, you're down 3-1 after the first period. I thought we were phenomenal in the second and third period. I mean, we did everything we could other than score goals. And their goaltender, who played here last year, had a phenomenal game for them. And I mean, what are you going to do at that point? The lesson you got to learn is, 40 minutes isn't going to do it. And we weren't bad in the first period. We just weren't as good as we were in the second and third. And I told the guys today, like that's a choice. Right. You get a little ticked off, and you got another gear, and it's like, okay, you chose to find that gear. Like, you can choose to have that gear when the game starts. And
great point.
You put yourself in a situation, you gotta come back. Some nights you come back, and some nights you run out of runway. Last night, if there's another 5 or 10 minutes, can you come back before you pull the goalie? Maybe. But you put yourself in a tough spot. So if you can learn from it and respond tonight, then you know what? Sometimes a loss, it can be beneficial for you.
Yeah, we were talking about the disparity in the shots on goal last night, and I thought, man, 20. We had 20 more than they did, but yet you're down 4-2.
Yeah.
So
and I think,
what do you got to do?
Yeah, and I think there's two things. I think I think we outplayed them, and that the shot total shows that. But you got to look at the quality of shots too.
Yeah,
like something we talk a lot about is. We'll give up 100 shots if they're on the outside, right? If the goaltender can see it and it's an easy save, so the shot clock can be a little bit deceiving. But I thought it probably told a pretty good story yesterday. I mean, the second and third period, I think we gave up 9 shots. Man, if you can do that, most nights you're going to win a lot of hockey games.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so, I mean, sometimes you know, there's some games this year that we did not deserve to win, and our goaltender was the best player on the ice.
Oh, yeah.
And I say it all the time, man, you show me a good coach, I'll show you a good goalie, right? So, you know, there's a couple times where you walk away with it and you're like, man, we just stole one. And there's nights you play well enough to win, you don't. And that's when you play 56 games, that's how it works.
Yeah.
So how is that relationship with like a coach and a goalie? Like, is it sort of like maybe like a coach and a quarterback in football, or maybe like a coach and a point guard in basketball, something like that?
You know what? I think it's different with goalies just because it's you know, it's a team sport, but it's really is an individual kind of position within a team sport. So you know, you look at every level. You know, we've got a guy that works with us too, but everybody, you know, the highest levels, they have a goaltending coach, because it's, in some ways, it's hard for us to relate to goalies just because as a former player, we played such a different position. It really is so different. The game is seen differently. You know, you ask any goaltender, especially goaltenders' parents, the pressures are something that I don't think a player, listen, every other guy on the ice can make a mistake, and you might not notice.
Right.
The goaltender makes a mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, it changes the game.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it directly affects the scoreboard.
So, so you're living on that edge all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's not another. I mean, I can make a mistake, and nobody will know, or it might not affect the game. So you can imagine having that mindset. Yeah. You put on your stuff, and that. I mean, that's the pressure that's on a goaltender. Is like, if I'm average, we probably can't win. I've got to be good tonight, and. You know, a lot of players can be average and you can still win. And,
right.
You know, so, you know, you're just trying to, you know, communicate. I talked to Vorvs after the first period because, you know, I know he wasn't happy with how he played that first period. And I was just like, hey, you're best goaltender in the league. And you know what? Like, we've got your back and we're going to fight for you and just battle through this. And I thought he was great after that, and our guys responded. We didn't score enough goals. But, you know, Vorvs is going right back tonight because, you know, he is the best goaltender in the league and he deserves the right to bounce back. And he'll be great tonight. Yeah. No question.
And he will be, absolutely.
Yeah.
Goalies, you kind of reminds me of the kicker on a football team.
That's what I was
everybody knows when they miss. Are they kind of different?
Yeah. Are they the quirky ones on the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think stereotypically, yeah, I would say for sure. You know, I would say a lot of them, it's kind of like they've got a pretty set routine. You know, and how they do things, and you know, they're very particular in a lot of ways. And yeah, I think goalies have a you know, probably a history of being, you know, a little bit odd. But you know, it's been my experience with the guys that we've had here. To be honest with you, hasn't really been that way.
Yeah.
You know, we've had our goaltenders. You know, the goaltending relationship between the two guys has been, you know, it's ultra competitive because there's only one net. And they both want to play, but it's been in a really positive way, which is good. But yeah, I mean, some goalies are a little bit different, and I mean, they made a choice to get hit with pucks. So I mean, like you can't really be like everybody else. I mean, everybody else made the choice.
You're not normal.
Yeah, you know, like you want to get hit with pucks going 100 miles an hour. Like, I don't know, you got to wonder sometimes.
No doubt.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, it reminds me of Happy Gilmore just taking those baseballs in the batting cage. It's just, you need that type of personality.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you joining us.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And we'll be rooting for you the rest of the year and obviously into the playoffs.
Sounds good.
Thanks for what you've done with this organization and all the players, and you make it easy for us fans to want to come and cheer and you know, make sure that y'all try to help y'all win. And if you could, for all of us here's sake, please do something with Freak Daddy. I don't know what that particular is, but just do something with him.
Yeah, well, I think
play, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I just appreciate you guys doing this and having us, and you know, allows us to spread the word, and you know, we're just trying to get more people here, and it's as crazy as it sounds. There's still people in Huntsville that don't know who the Huntsville Havoc are, and anything you guys are doing, talk about us, man. It's appreciated, and it's a big part of why we have people here too. So thank you guys.
No, I really appreciate you coming on. So we are about to take a break. This is Applebee's Tailgate Talk live from the VBC.
Go to your Amazon Echo and say play Tailgate Talk, or your Google Home device and say play Applebee's Tailgate Talk, and hear the show in crystal clear quality. We'll be back with more Tailgate Talk after this. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right.
First National Bank is a name everyone in the community will recognize. We see it in our schools, in our parks, and our homes. First National Bank is proud to help make our community great. I am First National Bank Student Advisory Board member Molly Chumbley from Athens Bible School, and I love to help represent First National Bank in my community. First National Bank, making communities great. Member FDIC.
Hey guys, this is Joanna Klim for CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications. I'd like to personally invite you to visit CEI Bookstore. While you're here, you'll find a wide selection of Bibles, gift items, trustworthy study materials, and more for you and your church. Our friendly staff will be happy to help you with your selections while you shop in the store. We even offer personalized Bible imprinting and gift wrapping. Not in the Athens area? Enjoy shopping with us online at truthbooks.com. CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications, taking his hand, helping each other home.
Are you getting the propane service you deserve? At Ferguson LP Gas in Ardmore, you always get the most value for your dollar, professional gas personnel who make safety a high priority, and you can always get in touch with them any day of the year at any time. They accept Visa and MasterCard too. So if you're not happy with your present propane supplier, join the many who have made the switch. Give Ferguson LP Gas in Ardmore a call at 256-423-3320.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
Check out the WKAC sports page. Go to WKAC1080.com and click on the WKAC sports icon. You can listen to the current sports stream as well as game archives, past coaches shows, and Applebee's Tailgate Talk on demand. If you're on your smartphone, you can stay automatically updated as new items are posted. The WKAC sports page. Another reason why your best source for Limestone County sports is WKAC1080.com and 1080 WKAC.
Hey, this is Jim Gasker, former Major League Baseball outfielder and first baseman. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
And we are back at Applebee's Tailgate Talk live from the VBC. I am Adam 12 Adam Dodson. I am filling in as host for Tom McClung, Tomcat, because he's taking a cat nap. I'm alongside producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert and Todd the Bod. And now, so we've been talking a lot of hockey here at the VBC. Now we're going to get back into more of some Limestone County sports. On the phone with us, we got Jacob Sparkman, head coach of Ardmore softball. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here, man.
I appreciate you coming on. So talk to me about what's been going on. Y'all been on having a spring break tournament. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. We went down to the beach this past week. Went 4-2.
Okay.
Still trying to get healthy. We haven't been healthy all year. We haven't had our full roster all year, and we're still dealing with that. So hopefully in the next week or two we'll get back to that. But been trying to compete, So. Yeah,
well, it sounds like y'all are still competing, going 4-2 without a full roster.
Yeah. Well, we're without a third baseman. We just got back a couple more players, so we'll get there.
So did y'all just catch the injury bug, or what's the deal there?
We have 38 players on our roster, 7 through 12, and at one point we had 9 injured.
Wow.
I don't know if COVID had something. I don't know. And I talked to other coaches around. I talked to Mary Jane at Elmont yesterday. And she's had more weird injuries than ever before. So Brett Nave at East Limestone, same thing. So I don't know if COVID, them sitting out for a while. I don't know. It's the weirdest thing.
That is very interesting. I mean, maybe somebody needs to do a study into that, athletes who have been off because of COVID or what have you, and see how that affects maybe getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah, it's just been crazy.
Well, I mean, is it like muscle strains? ankle sprain? I mean, is there one more in particular injury than another?
The really minor injuries, whether they be muscle strains, we've had a couple of chipped bones. No major ACLs for us.
Good.
That's good.
Or anything like that. Just minor injuries that you would like. Maybe it is because you sit out for a little while. Maybe so.
Okay.
But for us, it's basically been minor muscle sprains, tears, or little chipped bones. We've had 3 chipped hands, broke hands. So,
jeez,
that's odd.
That's
wow.
incredibly abnormal. Yeah, that is very strange. So so even with all those injuries, it sounds like obviously y'all are still competing. So who all did y'all beat this past week in the spring break tournament? I'm assuming it was that down in the Gulf Shores area.
Yes, it was. We beat Central Magnet from Murfreesboro. We beat Sweetwater. We beat John Carroll. We beat Mount Pleasant from Tennessee.
Okay.
We lost 3-0 to Thompson and 5-2. Thompson's number 3 in 7A, and then we lost 5-2 against Springville, which is number 6 at 6A.
Okay, and so with Ardmore being the classification that they are, do you look for opportunities to maybe play up in classifications to maybe see a level of competition that could help your team out in the long run?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of been, when Coach Ball was here, he kind of set the schedule, and we'll kind of continue that of playing teams such as, the Sparkmans, the Buckhorns, the Hazel Greens, the Athens, to get us ready for regionals and the state tournament.
Yeah, and that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's directly benefited y'all. I mean, y'all made it all the way to the championship game last year, so it's whatever formula y'all have seems to be working as far as the scheduling goes and the competition.
Yeah, and I mean, we were playing Springville. It was a tournament game. It was the tournament game, and they were runner-up in 6A last year. Hazel Green is who they lost to, and time was running out, and we had runners in scoring position, and the middle of a part of our lineup left, and there was 2 outs, and a lot of people would have left base early to get another inning because we were the home team, but that's not what we're trying to teach our girls to compete, because when you're in a tournament, I need the girl to be in that stressful situation so she experiences that now and not at the state tournament for the first time. So we just dealt with it and said, look, if we win it, we win it. If we don't, we don't.
Yeah.
That's just part of letting our girls grow,
And there's no such thing necessarily as a moral victory, but, I mean, yourself and the girls had to feel pretty good. I mean, 3-0 against Thompson is, it sounds like they absolutely hung in there with them.
Yeah, it was really 2-0, and we were speed pitching, trying to get another inning. Okay. And they got 2 quick hits where we wouldn't have done that normally, but we were trying to hurry up and get another inning.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Leaves that other at bat. Yeah.
Yep. So,
that makes sense to me. So really, I guess talk to me about how you adjust your expectations, because obviously you know how good of a team you have, but when you get caught with all these injuries and all these very abnormal injuries, how do you adjust expectations to where you are satisfied with what you're seeing on the field?
Well, we start, so I go to most of our middle school games, so we start this MO with them in 7th grade, and luckily for me, I followed Coach Ball, which had set this standard, and we talk about, even if we win, we may win 8-0, but we're not trying to win, or we're trying to live up to the standard of Ardmore softball.
Yep.
And I think everybody around here, and our girls especially, know that standard. So when we lost 5-2 to Springville, that was not our standard of softball. We did not play very well that game. And it never once did I talk about us losing. It was about we didn't play where we should be playing. And so even when we win, it's the same conversation as they know the expectation of our standard. Even if someone is injured, it's next person up.
Yep.
We lost 5 starters from last year, but that doesn't change our expectation to compete for a championship. It's next girl up. And, Ardmore's been really, really good for a long time.
Yep.
And I tell our girls it was great before I got here, Coach Ball got here, you got here. It's been great for a long time, and it's going to continue to be great because the people of Ardmore and the girls just continue to step up. And that's what we talk about. It's just next person up and meeting the standard that we've set, of that high-quality softball.
Yeah, it's like now that you've established that culture there, it's almost like the program sells itself at this point. It's almost like you expect to be great, so that's the results that are given on the field.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we tell them is I asked them the question, what is your goal? And everyone of them said a state championship, and I said, well, that cost is high. Are you willing to pay the cost? And so, there's days they don't, I don't want to do stuff or they don't want to do stuff, and we have to remind ourselves, we said we want it. Now here's the cost. Let's go get it.
Yep. And I bet after making it all the way last year, I mean, with the returning players, that just fuels them even more to get back to that moment.
Yeah. Well, we told them last year, don't ever forget this feeling.
Yep.
Don't forget these tears. And hopefully they have it, So
always take advantage of a loss. Use that as an opportunity.
That's right. It's opportunity to grow is what it is.
Absolutely. So, so you said you've got a few of the players back so far. Are you expecting to get a few more back any time in the recent future?
Hopefully within 2 weeks from now. Hopefully this week, but hopefully within 2 weeks we'll be back at full strength for the varsity level. We're still waiting on a couple of JVers and middle schools back at full strength. We're still waiting on a couple of JVers, but hopefully in the next week or two we'll be back at full strength at the varsity level.
Okay. How many more games will be left at 2 weeks from now, do you think? How many more games will that be with full strength?
We play about the season. We play about 3 games a week, plus we play every weekend from here on out.
Okay.
So I would say probably, 20 to 25 games.
Okay.
To get, and at this time last year, and we keep preaching this message to our girls, is that this time last year we weren't playing our best softball, and right now we're not playing bad, but we're not playing to where we want to be. But we keep telling our girls it's got to click at the right time. In softball, you got to be really good in May, and that's when we're trying to get to our best softball.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you may have the formula for that. Like if y'all get the full strength right at the final third of the season, and then y'all can really ride that momentum into the playoffs, it really sounds like y'all may be able to peak at the right time when you're trying to.
That would be the idea, to make.
I hear you for sure. So, what has been
where we were this year? You always got to have a little bit of luck.
Yeah,
things kind of bounce your way, but if you're there, you have a chance.
No, absolutely. So, what would you say has been the greatest strength of this year's team? Has it been the pitching? Has it been the hitting, the base running, a defense?
This team, well, we haven't put it all together. Some games we've been really good pitching. Some games we've been really good defensively. Some games we've been really good hitting. Overall, we're a really fast team because when people get their, we have some runners that we can put on base. So overall, we run the bases really well. We have the capability, and this is kind of a speech that the girls got last week, we have the capability to be an elite defense because we've got some girls that can play defense behind us. And we haven't achieved that just yet. We've been really good on defense, but I told them it's time to take that next step. So I think we could be elite on defense. We can run the bases really well. But our hitting has been the most surprising thing for me. We don't have a starter that is batting under 333.
Wow.
We have about 6 girls batting over 400.
Wow.
We're not striking out looking very much. I think we have less than 10 strikeouts looking on the year.
Well, that's incredible.
That's a big thing we preach. You can't hit it if you don't swing the bat.
Absolutely.
So I think our hitting has been the most surprising thing to me. And then when we're able to get back at full strength and kind of mismatch our lineup and put people in different positions, I think we have some capabilities to make some noise hitting. Because, we have Ella back at pitcher and how good she was last year at the end of the year. So we know that we're going to be able to play defense behind her, that she's going to be able to pitch well. It's really going to boil down to can we score enough runs? And I think we have the capability to do that. We've shown that. We lost to Brooks, which is number, 6 in 4A. We lost to them 1-0 and played pretty badly at the plate. Turned around and played them 2 days later on a Monday and beat them 10-0. So that showed me and the girls themselves that if you make some adjustments, look how good you can be.
Right.
And so it's just, that learning process at the plate because, we lost 4 really good bats that were seniors last year. So some girls that haven't had to do this that are now having the answer there. And they're just, it's taking some time to learn that.
So who has the highest batting average on the team?
Actually, surprisingly, it would be Ellie, not Bo Riley, but Ellie Riley, the 9th grader. She's batting over 500. She's batting 526.
Wow,
that's awesome.
And then Sarah Sanders, which didn't get to bat a ton last year, which took over for Reagan Clem at catcher. Is batting almost 500. She's batting 486 with a 596 batting average, on base percentage.
So she's getting a lot of walks.
She does, and she did last year. She just sees a lot of pitches. She sees about 7 pitches every at bat.
Well, you got it. Yeah, I think whether it's baseball or softball, I think every starting lineup has to have a batter who's willing to take a pitcher deep into the count. I think that's almost crucial to having a successful offense, a successful hitting team.
Yeah, and then we 5 girls with on base percentage over 500. Ellie Riley, Sarah Sanders, Brooke Phillips, which is one of the injured ones right now.
Okay.
Sydney Sanders, which is Sarah Sanders' twin, and then Bo Riley. All have on base over 500.
I didn't realize Brooke Phillips was hurt.
Yeah, she broke her a little. I don't know what the bone is called, but a bone in her thumb. We hope to have her back because she was the middle of the lineup. Power hitter for us.
Well, yeah.
One of our best defensive players at third.
Was it a softball injury or was it a basketball injury?
It was a softball injury.
Okay.
Against Brooks, she reached towards a ball on the baseline, and it's on her throwing hand, and the ball hit the bag and bounced up and hit her throwing hand. She was trying to.
Oh man.
And it hit the bag and bounced up and hit her throwing hand and broke a little bone in her hand.
Okay. Well, Coach, we really appreciate you coming on the show and talking to us a little bit about Ardmore softball and all the great things you all have going on over there.
Hey, I appreciate y'all having me, man. Anytime.
Yeah, we'd love to have you back for sure.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Good luck, y'all.
Well, so this is Applebee's Tailgate Talk, live from the BBC. I'm 1 Adam 12 Dodson with Tim Lambert, extraordinary producer, and Todd the Bod, and we will be back.
Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
This is Bella LaFontaine with Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We take care of all the basics. We take care of cockroaches, ants, wasps. As far as rodents go, most places they'll trap or poison, and that's the end of it. What we do is we're actually going to find the entry points, and we're going to take care of that for you. We do a lot of work with a lot of realtors here in town to bring houses to the closing table. So one of the big things about us is that we're not a sales company. We are a service provider. So we're not looking to meet a sales quota. We're looking to get a house ready to go to closing and get our customers taken care of. This is Bella LaFontaine, Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We are located at 3413 6th Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama. Phone number is 256-701-7095.
Need custom screen printing or other promotional products? Got You Covered Screen Printing and More in Athens is, well, got you covered. Screen printing, promotional items, stickers, graphic design, vinyl for signs and garments, and other customized products. They also offer local pickup and delivery services, rush orders, volume discounts, and can customize any project to meet your needs. Got You Covered guarantees to get the job done and will work hard to make sure you're completely satisfied. Call today, 444-4500, or stop by and see them at 389 West Sandifer Road in Athens. Got You Covered Screen Printing and More. Applebee's Tailgate Talk wants to recognize our local athletes, and you can help. Go to tailgatetalk.net throughout the school year to vote for the Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. The winner will receive a gift card from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and a t-shirt from Got You Covered Screen Printing and More. Submit your own nominations for future polls, too. While you're there, check out the Tailgate Talk archives and see what you might have missed. That's the Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. Cast your vote today from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Tailgate Talk.
This is Shelby Davis, West Limestone head football coach, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. I am live with extraordinary producer Tim Lambert, Todd the Bod, and I am one Adam 12 Dodson. And we have a special guest with us. He is in his 18th year with Sports USA. Mr. Sobel, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Thank you for coming on the show with us this morning.
Well, my pleasure. Thanks for the invite.
Absolutely. So, tell us what you specialize in. I mean, you have a lot of experience in your 18 years. Tell us what you enjoy writing about, what you've had going on recently, anything special going on. Just tell us everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my book Touching Greatness is now out on Amazon, and it took me about 3 years to write it. And it's a memoir of growing up in Southern California in the 60s and into the 70s, what it was like in those old days. There's a chapter on being in Vegas quite often during the Rat Pack era, and just a lot of personal and fun stories about days gone by that we will never, ever, ever see again. And then since then, being over 40 years in radio here in Southern California, mostly covering sports, I also have a chapter on covering the entire career of Tiger Woods and Kobe Bryant, and a football chapter which includes my little trip to Birmingham, Alabama, where I have one of the highlights of my life, meeting my boyhood idol Bart Starr.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome. So I'm glad Birmingham treated you well.
Oh, it was great. Absolutely fantastic. It was a lucky day for me because Bart. We had talked over the years on the phone and never had a chance to meet. And he said, if you're ever close in the neighborhood, please give me a call. We will have lunch. Well, since I live in Southern California, it's a little bit of a walk to Birmingham.
I'd say so.
Didn't have too many reasons to be in the neighborhood, but I was covering the Masters in Augusta, Georgia. And that year, the first thing I did was go on to GPS and say, how long of a drive is it? It was exactly 4 hours, so I called him up and I said, how about the day after the Masters? He said, I'll see you then, and that's what happened in 2014. And it was just a few months before he had his stroke, too, so I was really lucky.
Yeah, no doubt.
No doubt. And so, yeah, like I said, we are live with Ted Sobel, who is a Southern California extraordinaire. And so you were talking a little bit about the days gone by. I've heard a lot. So I'm 27, so I wasn't around during these days gone by. But I've heard
you just had less days gone by.
There you go.
And I've heard a lot about how Southern California in like the 70s, 80s, 90s was like truly like a glory days period for Southern California. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, let's go back into the late 60s because that's when I was in my teens, just going to high school. And there's a lot of music in the book as well because I talk about the old days. Maybe you've heard of the Whiskey A Go-Go or the Troubadour. A couple of really popular spots have been there since those days and still there these days. But it doesn't have the same aura that it had in those years. So I had a chance to move into that neighborhood in the West Hollywood, West LA area, and it was so great because that's when music was really evolving at the time, and country rock was just becoming a big thing. And this was just before the Eagles became a group.
Okay.
And I was going to the Troubadour, where Linda Ronstadt got her basic start, and several others, and she met a couple of guys named Glenn Fry and Don Henley there at the Troub, and I just happened to be there when she played her first concert there with them as her backup in her band. And then it was only a few months later where she says, you guys go do your own thing, and that started the Eagles. And I have a couple of stories in there in the book about a couple of songs, the origins of songs that people never heard the true story about, and I've got some inside scoop on that, and it's a lot of fun to bring it back.
That is awesome.
That is really cool. So you said it took you about 3 years to write your book. Talk to us a little bit about that process of maybe something someone doesn't know about the process of getting something published like that.
Well, it wasn't easy. First of all, it's very difficult because I'm a radio guy. I'm not a writer.
Uh-huh.
So I've been in radio for decades, and Basically, I heard so many people say, "Hey, you got a story about everybody meeting Joe DiMaggio and like guys like your boyhood idol Bart Starr." I got a chapter on Elgin Baylor, the great L.A. Laker who played in the '60s and into the early '70s. And Elgin it turns out he was a neighbor of mine, and I joke about how I stalked him as a 15-year-old trying to find out where he lived, and we ended up becoming friends, and he took me to the games on a regular basis.
Oh, that's real cool.
I'm thinking, you try doing that today, right? You can't exactly walk up to LeBron James' house, knock on the door, and say, "Hey, I'm the neighbor. Can you start taking me to games, please?"
No.
It's a different world.
Well, I read a statement that you had made at some point that said part of your success in life is being unafraid. So there you go. You can't be afraid to ask Elgin Baylor, "Hey, Elgin, let me ride to the game with you, buddy."
I joke in the book that I literally did come up with the phrase "go." Not go for it. Now I can't. What is it? Nike is what's
just
the
do
Nike?
it. Just do it.
Just do it. Yeah, thank you. Just do it. So I used to say that all the time, and then about several years later, it came out as the thing for Nike, and it's like they must owe me about $20 billion.
Yeah, no, they owe you some money for sure. There's some royalties to be paid.
No doubt.
How about one shoe? How's that? I'm not asking for much. Right?
Yeah.
But it did take 3 years to write it, mostly, guys, because of the research, because I wanted to be 1,000% accurate.
Absolutely.
And whether you're 27 or 67, you can't remember everything you did in your teens and things that really meant a lot to you. So I went back and I researched everything. And, when you see something like an old newspaper story about something that you're writing about, it brings back those memories. And all of a sudden it's like, wow, now I remember that.
Yeah.
As opposed to you never would have remembered.
Oh no, absolutely! I completely agree with you. So I'm sure that there is a little bit of nostalgia when you're doing this research, and a lot of flooding memories coming back to you.
That's a great point, and there were actually a few tears that came to me throughout the writing. It was really strange. Like all of a sudden, something would hit me. I'm in the middle of writing, and I've got this great thought, and I want to put it down in writing so you can feel my thoughts. And all of a sudden, I start to choke up, and that happened several times. It was strange because I'd never had that experience before, but it shows how much that meant, and that's why I wanted it in the book.
Well, yeah, I mean, going back and reliving all those memories, and like you said, they kind of start come flooding back. And I had I don't know if I'd read it or heard it about your dad taking you to Sears at age 7 to go see Ted Williams, and that being your first experience, and I'm sure at age 7, not knowing, I mean, well, you knew who Ted Williams was, but, still that's young. They had that led to now the doors opening for you to meet. I mean, you've lived a life, man. Just athletes, presidents, celebrities, musicians. With all that said and done, and you cover so many wonderful events, Wimbledon, the Masters, Super Bowls, World Series, whatever. Out of all those memories, do you have a couple of favorites that after you got to thinking about them went, wow, this is my favorite memory, or I can't believe I was really able to do that?
Yeah, there are several of them, and fortunately I really get into them in the book. Tiger Woods' last win, for example.
Yep.
Just a couple of years ago. It feels like it was 100 years ago now. And, they're just hoping that maybe he even shows up at the Masters. Well, I covered the Masters when he had his great comeback a couple of years ago. And, and that was just an amazing thing. And I talk about in the chapter, it's called Tiger Tracking. And because I covered his whole career from his first swing as a 16-year-old here at Riviera Country Club, because it just happens to be, he's from the same city I am. So I knew who he was as a little kid. But you never know, somebody's going to turn out to be something special.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these guys, they flatten out. They never reach their potential. But there was something about Tiger that was different. And being there that day, at the Masters, I talk about how the last few holes I'm wandering through there was just so many people there. It was just a swarm of humanity, and just what it was like to follow him and the sounds of they called the tiger roars at Augusta. And so I try to get into that, and then I was fortunate enough to get to ask the second question in his news conference about what that meant and what this comeback actually was to him. And that is part of the story in the book. So that's obviously one of the special ones. But, to me, like being at the World Series, I was at the first World Series game at Dodger Stadium in 1963 when Don Drysdale pitched, and he was my favorite player, and my dad made sure I got a chance to go to a game to watch my favorite player start in the World Series. And it just happened to be, it was the first game at Dodger Stadium in the Fall Classic, and they shut out the Yankees 1-0. And I talk about that game, and I had a few of the guys from that game give me what it was like to be there at 1-0, a final score. And the last out of the game was a fly ball to my favorite regular everyday player, Ron Fairley. At the time, he was an outfielder, and he caught the last ball up against the bullpen gate. Otherwise, it would have been a tie game. And my dad was yelling at me from the parking lot, "We're leaving." They're trying to beat the traffic because it's the World Series. I said, I can't go anywhere. I was afraid they might leave me, but then again, deep inside, they're not going to leave me here and go. I was only 10 years old. So anyway, I recall that, and that's a very special memory to me.
Absolutely. Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to have you back on the other end of the break. You've been talking to us about a lot of good things, and we'd like to continue talking to you.
My pleasure. Thanks.
Great. So this is 1 out of 12 Dodson with extraordinary producer Tim Lambert and Todd the Bod, and we'll be back after the break at Applebee's Tailgate Talk live from the BBC.
Congratulations to Elkmont's Thea Hamlin, our Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. Thea picks up a gift card from the Athens Applebee's and a Tailgate Talk t-shirt from Gotcha Covered Screen Printing and more. Go to tailgatetalk.net and enter your nominations for future polls. We'll be back with more Applebee's Tailgate Talk after this.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side.
Are your broadband needs growing like wildflowers? Ardmore Telephone Company's fiber-fast internet can help. Spruce up your speed with ATC today. Give us a call at 800-830-9946 to upgrade this spring. New internet customers get the first month free. Broadband speeds are based on best availability in your area. Fiber internet is not available in all areas.
Hey guys, this is Joanna for CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications. Many of you are searching for Bible study materials for your Bible classes. Our best-selling Bible curriculum, Discovering God's Way, is a reliable tool for teaching students of all ages through the Bible in its entirety. We're sure you'll love this curriculum, and if you'd like to see other options of Bible classes, we'll be happy to help you select from our topical studies. So stop struggling with the search and come by and let us help you select reliable and meaningful study materials for your class today. CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications, taking his hand, helping each other home.
The Play Action Sports Report is back in podcast form. Look for it every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform. The Play Action Sports Report. Scores, interviews, highlights, and more from school, youth, and amateur sports in Athens and Limestone County. The Play Action Sports Report every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform or online at pasnetwork.net.
Hey, this is former Auburn defensive end Ladarian Goins, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. I am 1 out of 12, Adam Dodson, alongside producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert and Todd the Bod. We are live from the VBC, and joining us we have Ted Sobel, who is a radio extraordinaire, the current longest tenured Los Angeles-based, Southern California-based sports reporter. So, Mr. Sobel, let's jump back into it. You were talking to us about some great things, and I think you mentioned earlier you brought up specifically Tiger and Kobe, and you've talked a little bit about Tiger already. So, talk to me about your journey covering Kobe.
Yeah, well, Kobe Bryant, when he first came up, was just a snot-nosed kid, a sort of a spoiled brat. But at the beginning, he was a little bit on the I don't want to say shy, but he was holding back. You could tell that there was just a ton of confidence that wanted to come bursting out. But he also knew, I'm just a kid here and around a bunch of old guys, and I got to figure this out, how to be a professional player, since he came straight out of high school. But I was there the first day that Jerry West introduced him here to the Lakers, and he was reserved just enough, but you could see he had the cockiness which you need to become as great as he was.
Absolutely.
And people talk about, oh, that turns me off. Well, maybe, but, hey, when you're doing something and you're trying to be the best you can be, you got to have the cockiness to say, I know I'm really good, and I'm going to grab whatever I can out of my potential. And nobody ever, any sport, anywhere, ever worked harder than Kobe Bryant at his craft. And I got to give him a lot of credit for that. But I always joke about the fact that he's definitely cussed me out more times than any other.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah, I was
more than any other player. It wasn't even close because I wasn't afraid to ask him the right questions as opposed to beat around the bush with him, and he knew it. And there was one time, when Tiger Woods had his issue at home back in 2010, and his wife wanted to beat the hell out of him. And we all know what happened with that.
Right.
So it was that was like right around Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So it was a few weeks later that I was covering a Lakers game. I was out there on a regular basis, probably covered 80% of the games in those days. And when game was up and we finished our little gathering in the media in the locker room, and Kobe finished his thing, I wandered over to him and I said, Kobe, got a quick second? I got one more personal question I want. I think you're the only guy in the world who can answer this, who could relate to what's going on with Tiger Woods. Do you have a comment on that? And, guys, I can't tell you how he responded because you're not allowed to use those words on the radio.
No, okay. Yeah.
He went nuts on me, and he goes, and this and that, and are you effing kidding me, and blah, 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 blah. And I said no. And the Lakers PR guy walked over to me, and he said, Ted, you are on his S list ever. You'll be lucky if he even ever answers a question of yours, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, whatever, I got a job to do. I was very polite. I didn't, try to be somebody. I never try to be the story. I'm just trying to get a comment because truthfully, Tiger Woods and Kobe Bryant, they had, their own personal legal issues, and we all know what those are about. It's like, come on, if there's one guy in the world can answer that, he's the one, and he didn't want to answer, and that's fine too. That's his prerogative. Yeah. So
that's all he had to say, though, was like, look, exactly. Dad, I'm not going to answer that.
Exactly,
move
but
on.
Whatever, that's fine. Yeah. We had our own little rapport going there. And it was no big deal. I don't take things personally. It's like, okay, it's the same as a no to me, no biggie. Yeah. So I started to walk away, and I was leaving the room, and all of a sudden this long arm comes around me, and I look up, and it's Kobe, and he says, hey, I didn't mean any of that. Don't worry about what he just said. And he walked me out, and we were laughing. So
oh, man.
That's the kind of guy he was. And let me tell you, if anybody evolved as a person, more than Kobe Bryant, I want to meet them because, like I said, he was cocky. He was tough to deal with. You ever seen the meme where some guy asks him a question during the finals when they say, "Hey, you're up 2-0. How come you're not smiling?" Have you ever seen that?
Oh yeah.
And he said, "Job finished? No, job's not finished." That was my question, guys.
And that's what Nick Saban would say too.
Exactly.
And I started to ask you, if I ever wanted to get in touch with some of these personalities, I was going to ask you if I could drop your name, but I don't know. I'm having second thoughts about that now.
No, I had a great rapport with really almost everybody. I've never had any personal issues at all. Because look, it's a reporter's job to do his job,
Mm-hmm. Well,
And as a player could do whatever they want. They don't have to answer every question. And I respect that too. But remember, I'm working for $3 an hour compared to their $3 million an hour.
Right.
And I'm basically giving them free 24/7 pub that you can't get in any other business in the world or the universe.
Yeah.
Right?
It's up to them whether it's going to be good or bad. You know. Yeah.
What's that?
And it's up to them whether it's going to be good or bad publicity. So
Totally.
The way
it's really funny too because people don't think about that. They say, "Oh, it's the media's fault." Well, the media, if they change your words or they change the structure, it meant, that's that fault of that person who changed that. Otherwise, if you give me a quote, and I'm radio, I'm not newspaper, so you're going to hear what they said.
Yeah.
I can't change that, right? I'm not going to edit their words. So I may edit exactly, the soundbite I want, but I'm not going to make it something that they didn't say. They're the narrative. So they can, and that's why some people in sports can be so great after their careers because they knew how to make it work for them. Every one of these people could be gazillionaires if they just smiled and did their thing. No matter what the question was, they don't have to answer it, and if they want to answer, that's great too. But they control the narrative, and a lot of them don't know how, and that's the problem.
No, I think you make a lot of really good points, and especially when you're giving them 24/7 publicity, they have the opportunity right in front of them to really mold how they're viewed by the public.
Totally. And obviously the way things have changed now because of social media and however you want to use the internet.
Right.
You got your own thing now where a lot of these guys say, "Hey, we don't need the Ted Sobels of the world anymore because I can do my own thing. I can tweet it out. I can put it on Instagram. I can do whatever the heck I want," and that's true. And so that's what's changed in my business a lot because now. The guys growing up now, remember, it was only up until about the last 10 years where the ones growing up didn't have this. Now they have it, and it's like, we don't need you. You're just a waste of our time.
Yeah.
So it's totally different.
And obviously y'all made up. I mean, there's a picture of you and Kobe on the cover of your book, Touching Greatness.
Yeah.
So obviously, that relationship ended up on
it
a
was
good
great.
note.
It was very special because he respected me and I understood him. I didn't always respect his answers to me, but that's okay.
Right.
Again, it's only sports. This isn't brain surgery. Yeah. So, if I'm asking a question, I don't want to receive the same, well, I'm giving 110%. Thanks, but that's not going to go on the radio. Yeah. I'm not using that.
Well, and speaking of respect, you bring up another little story I'd read where Super Bowl night, Eli Manning throws the ball that Tyree catches, David Tyree.
Yeah,
and
my favorite story. Thanks for bringing it up.
And so, here it is at the end of the game, man. You're going in there, you're in the tunnel, you're fixing to talk to Eli, and then Barber comes in from NBC and kind of roots you out of the way a little bit. But out of respect, Eli comes back to you. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
Oh, it's my favorite post game story ever, guys.
Okay.
The funny thing was the Thursday before, this is in 2008, the Thursday before that Super Bowl when the Giants were the underdogs and New England was supposed to have a perfect season, and it looked like they were going to. They just looked like they had too much for the Giants. Besides, New York had a really good defense.
Yep.
So I had to decide coming in from L.A. This was in Arizona, in the Phoenix area, and I had to decide: am I going to go? I had one day, either the Giants or the Patriots, for the last day that the media can talk to the players. So I decided on the Giants because the whole world was going to New England.
Very
and
nice.
I thought, let me come with a different angle on this from the underdog. Plus, there were 3 or 4 really good players that were from Southern California. So I thought I'd give it that little bit of an angle when I went in there. So I finished up all my interviews that day. This was on the Thursday before the Super Bowl, and I'm getting ready to leave, and there was one table in this room. There was a receivers table, then the DB's table, and the quarterback. Well, the quarterbacks didn't have a table, but each regional position had a table and with name tags at the each chair, and there was one guy left in the room, and he was just sitting there, and it was David Tyree. Now, most people had no idea who David Tyree was because I think he caught 5 catches all year leading up to that.
I sure didn't know who he was.
Yeah, he's just another guy, right? Just a part of a squad, and he was having an awful month too, because even in his practice, he was dropping balls, and they had like zero confidence in him, and that's not exactly what you want throughout the playoffs going into the Super Bowl. But again, he was just another guy. Wasn't going to play a lot anyway. So I wandered over to him, and I knew him mostly because, besides the fact that I covered the NFL, I knew him because he was part of a proposition bet in Las Vegas that me and my buddy made a bet. Would he make over half a catch or under a half a catch? So meaning if he caught one,
you're in the money.
It's an over, right? If he got none, it's an under. So it's Vegas, right? So they have a prop bet on almost everybody. And that's the greatest example right there.
Absolutely.
So I walked up to him and introduced myself. I said, "Hey, I'm Ted Sobel from L.A. Radio, and I'm just wondering, do you know anything about proposition bets in Las Vegas? Because you're on one of them." You know, I'm just making small talk with him. I wasn't even recording anything at the time. And he said to me, "No, I have no idea what you're talking about." And a lot of players didn't. And so I explained to him, took a couple of minutes to tell him what a prop bet was, and he said to me, "Well, you tell those people in Vegas that I'm going to make some important catches in this game." And it's like, no, I'm not telling anybody. I'm just telling you what a prop bet is. But he still didn't totally get it. But he was having fun with me. Anyway, we broke up, and I wished him good luck, and on to the rest of the day I went. The game happens. We all know he makes the greatest catch in the history of the Super Bowl, which NFL Network to this day says is number one on that list. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, the helmet catch. And so the game is over, and I went downstairs. I had a plane to catch that night. I had to fly back home. So I want to get a little bit of post-game interviews and get out of there. And first I'm waiting for Eli Manning, thinking there's no way I'm going to get him, but I'm going to try. I was all alone in the tunnel where the players come out from the field back to their locker room, and I was standing there by myself, just me and one of the security guards, and after a bunch of guys come out, here comes Eli with about 5 suits around him, and he's got his MVP hat on and the whole thing, and he just won the Super Bowl MVP, like his brother did. Peyton won it the year before, and so in a million years, guys, you have no idea. It is 1,000% impossible to get a one-on-one with the Super Bowl MVP after a game, especially if you're me, who, I'm just a local radio guy. They're not going to do a one-on-one. But I was standing there by myself, and I said, "Eli," I didn't even ask him for an interview. I just said, "Hey, unbelievable. Are you right now that you just did what your brother did last year, one of the great upsets in the history of the Super Bowl?" And he got all animated with me, and he started talking to me, and in the middle of the first response, that's when Tiki Barber, his ex-teammate, running back, who had just retired and ripped Eli all season long, saying he could never lead them to a Super Bowl. and here he won it. And here comes Tiki, who's working for the Tonight Show. I'm sorry, for the Today Show, not Tonight. The Today Show, the morning show, right, on NBC. And he came over with his cameraman and his boom mic guy, and he basically pushed me out of the way and sort of half apologized for it. And he did a one-on-one with his old buddy, and I put that in air quotes because Eli and him were not exactly close. That's the first time they had spoken in person since all of their back and forth through the. And Eli's not like that.
No,
he doesn't. No. He's never like that. He's just a good old quality, classy guy, and he's not going to get into that stuff. But anyway, Eli did this little interview with him, and he had this fake smile on his face, but he got it out of the way. And then all of a sudden, that was the story. Everybody wanted to know, Eli and Tiki, and all the New York writers like, what's going on? And they all come running over. And I was the only guy there. Now there's like 50 or 75 reporters watching Eli and Tiki do their thing. And so I went way off into the corner and forgot about it and said, I can't believe that he just screwed up my only chance to get a comment for a one-on-one. And I was really disappointed. It was and because of the timing of it, and Tiki was rude about it too.
I'm sure.
Right? So anyway, Eli comes walking down. He finished the things up, and it was like the parting of the seas. security. Now there's a bunch of security people opening up so Eli can walk back down the tunnel and to the locker room off to his left. But off to his right, all the way in the far corner, was me. He's looking around like he had just lost his wallet. And all of a sudden, he sees me in the corner, and he walks all the way on the other side of the tunnel, goes over and says, "Excuse me, I apologize. Let's finish what we were doing," puts his arm around me and walks me back to the locker room. And everyone standing there is thinking, who the heck is that guy with Eli Manning?
Man.
And Eli didn't know me from Adam, but that's what he did. How classy is that guy?
Very classy.
No, that is very classy. And,
and then it wraps up where I'm in the locker room, and out of the blue, I see David Tyree in the far side. He's finishing up an interview with somebody. He ends up walking towards me, and we sort of locked eyeballs. And I walked over and I said, "Do you remember me?" He goes, "I told you I was going to make some."
That's awesome. Well,
isn't that unbelievable?
Yeah,
I mean, what are the chances?
That really is unbelievable. I've really enjoyed listening to your stories, and we all here really appreciate you coming on the show. That is Ted Sobel with his new book, Touching Greatness, taking time to speak to us on Applebee's Tailgate Talk. We wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you back to finish up more stories as well, no doubt.
Yeah, I'll come out anytime, and Touching Greatness is on Amazon. Hope you can check it out.
Absolutely. So us here at Tailgate Talk, we're about to take a quick break here live at the VBC.
Missed part of this week's show? Archives are available on our website. You can also hear us on your favorite podcast platform, including iTunes, Google, Amazon, and more. Just check out the podcast page at tailgatetalk.net for a list of available apps and links. We'll be back with more of Applebee's Tailgate Talk after this. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens, Highway 72 West, just off I-65. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. One of your favorite teams is sure to be playing on the big screen, too. See you tomorrow at Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 Athens, just off I-65. If you're running out of space and a yard sale just isn't an option, Midpoint Storage and Buddy Box Storage gives you the choice. Midpoint Storage on Highway 72 East has traditional or climate-controlled units along with spaces for your boat or RV. Buddy Box offers convenient, secured, portable storage units delivered right to your home. They're both locally owned, too. Call 256-800-4249. Look for them on Facebook or online at midpoint.storage.com or buddyboxstorage.com. It's a win-win situation. Midpoint Storage and Buddy Box Storage. 256-800-4249.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. Keep up with local school, travel, youth, and amateur sports throughout the week with a Play Action Sports Update. Listen weekday mornings at 7:30 and weekday afternoons at 1:30 and 3:30 as we bring you the latest scores, news, and announcements from Limestone County and surrounding communities. That's the Play Action Sports Update 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on 1080 WKAC.
Hey, I'm Cody Gross. I'm the head football coach at Athens High School, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
I'm all about the action. 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 I said I'm about that action.
And we are back at Applebee's Tailgate Talk. We are live from the VBC. I am Adam 12, Adam Dodson, live with extraordinary producer Tim Lambert and Todd the Bod. And we are joined by the Swami of the SEC, AP Steadham. AP, how are we doing this morning?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. So glad to be on Applebee's Tailgate Talk, WKAC 1080 AM, Athens, Alabama.
Great. Always great to have you on the show, AP. I really want to talk to you about Final Four basketball. I know you're the Swami of the SEC, but unfortunately none of the SEC teams did us the grace of making the Final Four this year.
Right. We saw the SEC touted as one of the stronger leagues, and Arkansas made it to the second weekend, and that was all she wrote.
Yep.
Kentucky was upset by St. Peter's.
Yep.
They went on to that miraculous run, the first 15 team reaching the Final 8. But here we are in ACC country with Duke and North Carolina, along with Villanova out of the Big East and Kansas from the Big 12. So it's the bluest of Blue Bloods Final Four that I can recall.
100%.
Having won a minimum of 3, I think, national championships.
Yep, no, and it's interesting you bring that up because, a lot of people would probably say that Villanova isn't a traditional blue blood, but the past 15 years, you can't tell me another program that's been better than them.
Yeah, Jay Wright, he's an exceptional coach, and he's suave and debonair, and we had a good time talking to him this week, along with Bill Self and Mike Krzyzewski and Hubert Davis. All the coaches seem to be relaxed, and they like their team. You can tell by their body language.
And they've been there and done that. So, to them, it's they're a lot more comfortable with it, I'm sure. And, they've all won multiple NCAA titles, and so it's going to be exciting. And I was telling the guys off air when I first got here, AP, that my sister and one of my nephews and my other nephew are all 3 huge Duke fans, but only one of my nephews went. But anyway, they're on their way right now to the Final Four. My sister was able to get tickets, and
great!
Yeah, and I was happy for him. But I told him, I said, I hope UNC hits a shot from half court with half a second left on the clock and bury Coach K in his career. I'm done with him. As a UNC fan, obviously I'm a huge Alabama fan, but North Carolina's my second team. So I said, I hope y'all have a long ride home.
Yeah, you mean North Carolina's been playing exceptional.
Yeah,
absolutely. They had, their big guy in the middle. He blocks shots and rebounds and scores points, and then on the outside, the big guy, the transfer,
Brady Manning
from Oklahoma. Yeah, he's a good shooter. He's like that Larry Bird with a beard.
Yeah. A lot like that. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's kind of has that same motion in his shot. And then Caleb
Love.
Oh, wow.
I
think he shoots it from the locker room.
Yeah,
that's his range.
He
has no conscience as well.
Yeah, we haven't even. We haven't even mentioned R.J. Davis.
Yeah,
right.
Who's been playing great too.
Yeah, he has as well. But Duke is awfully big. I was on the court with him yesterday, and they have a number of players that are so tall, and they're not just. Some of them aren't too thin either.
Oh yeah,
they're well built, and so it's going to be a tough matchup for them. But hey, that's what it's supposed to be—a tight ball game. I want to see both teams shoot, fairly well, and at the end, who makes the exceptional plays?
Yeah,
that's what I like to see.
Make your free throws, protect the basketball,
right?
Those kind of things, and it's UNC Duke, so you just never know what you're going to get. You can't find 2 teams that through the last 25 plus years have been matched more tightly or closely than those 2 teams.
Absolutely not. It's been the closest rivalry in sports, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I think Carolina's got the 6 titles. Duke has the 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Villanova has the 3, and I believe Kansas has the 3.
Yep. And I think, if I'm remembering correctly, that this Duke-North Carolina Final Four match is the first Final Four game ever where it's between 2 teams in the same state and the same conference.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's probably so. I would venture to say that's correct. That's amazing. That's amazing that it's happened. 91, I guess, when Hubert Davis was a player, they lost to Kansas, and then Duke was in the other game. They didn't play each other. So here it is. Hubert Davis is back again in the same Final Four as Duke.
That's very interesting. I didn't even make that parallel with Hubert Davis. I think that's incredibly interesting.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Hubert Davis.
Yeah,
he discusses the practice, the the performance on game day, and the preparation. Those are the 3 Ps. He repeats it over and over. He's quick-witted, and he seems to connect with his players. And I think he's going to make an outstanding coach. I mean, he's in the Final Four in his first year. Okay, so he's recruited some of these players. Some of them came on board after he was signed up to be the coach. But I think Hubert Davis is the perfect man in North Carolina.
Yeah, it was a great transition. And speaking of which, we're unfortunately about to have to take a break ourselves, AP. We always love talking to you, and we really appreciate you coming on the show like you always do.
Oh, thank you so much. My pleasure. And I'll just say I'm thinking North Carolina and Kansas today.
Okay, I hear you.
Well, man, be safe and enjoy yourself.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
Okay. Thank you very much. Bye-bye now.
Yes, sir. That was AP Steadham, our Swami of the SEC, at the Final Four. I am very jealous. We are about to take another quick break. I'm at 1 Adam 12 Dodson with producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert and Todd the Bod. We are live at the VBC. We'll be back shortly.
P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side.
This is First National Bank Student Advisory Board member Kamai Wardlaw from East Limestone High School, and I love First National Bank. They make it easy for me to balance school, work, and my social life. With convenient services like online banking, bill pay, and the mobile app, I can take care of my finances without having to worry. I can check my balance and pay my car payment all on my phone, and I was even able to apply for my checking account online. First National Bank, making communities great, member FDIC.
Hi, this is Terry Henley, former running back from the Auburn Tigers, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
When you're born in this world, you're given a ticket to the freak show.
So you're a control freak?
It's just a freak show anyway.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, live at the VBC. I am 1 Adam 12, Adam Dodson, live with producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert and Todd the Bod. And like I said, we are live at the VBC where the great Huntsville Havoc play, and we are live with our favorite Clay Cole.
Hey guys, how's it going?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Great. So talk to us about what you've had going on. I know that every single time we talk to you, we seem to get the full update. So just tell us what's been happening.
Right, absolutely. No, well, definitely a hockey weekend for everybody last night. Definitely on the fan appreciation night and the first night of the Madison County Mystery Boom, that the rebrand that the Havoc did for one night didn't turn out the way that it's probably more of a mystery than the boom, I guess you could say, last night. And I think you guys have talked to Tyler and Coach Detulleo, so you know that they're definitely focused to get in and ready to redirect things tonight. I guess the one positive that you could look at if you try to make that is Knoxville lost last night, so didn't lose any ground. I mean, it would have been great if we could have tied them. Last night, but as we've talked a couple times, as you get into the playoffs, you play who you play. So there's really not much of I don't think there's much of an advantage. I mean, there may be some teams that we played better against, but you can see like Roanoke is a team that hasn't played that well, but they've taken out us and they've taken out Knoxville last night. So anybody can kind of get hot at the right time. So I think that our guys need to. I'd rather them see a 3-game skid now than a 3-game skid in the playoffs and be home.
No kidding. 100%. Yeah, it sounds a lot like to me that if you're too worried about who you're playing, you're probably not focused on what you need to be focused on to begin with. Yeah,
and hockey's a unique sport in the sense of, probably similar to baseball, I guess you could say, because of the volume of games that you play.
Okay.
And you've never seen an undefeated, hockey team in the NHL. You've never seen an undefeated baseball team. You're going to have slumps. You're going to have off nights.
Oh yeah.
And literally, you wipe your mind of everything, and you move on to the next game. Where, like, let's say in college basketball or pro football or college football, you lose, 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, and then you're kind of thinking about what you're going to do next year, So you don't have that with hockey as much. So it's they have the ability to have that short-term memory and forget things pretty quick. So
yeah.
And then you get, it adds to the story. Like last night, I really feel like that we outshot, and we definitely had more shots on goal than Fayetteville.
Certainly.
But their goaltender, who was a former goaltender of the Havoc, actually, Pulaski was one of the goaltenders that we had during the COVID. He was our backup goalie. So you always have those situations where somebody comes in and has something to prove, and I think our guys kind of got to get out of their own heads a little bit and move forward and start that building those streaks. We got this game tonight, and then we'll go down to Birmingham next week, and there'll be another group of people that, if you be the spoiler, you're going to have the Birmingham crew that's going to definitely want to be, hey, how can we, rain on the Havoc's parade just a little bit.
Yeah, and what it sounds like to me, come playoff time, like you said, you play who you play, and what it sounds like to me is like it doesn't really matter who you're playing come playoff time. If you don't bring your A game, if you're not ready to play, it doesn't matter who you're playing. You're going home anyways.
Absolutely, and it's a weird situation. And I don't know if you had a chance to talk to Coach Detulleo about this, but with the SBHL, if you've played 5 games during the season and you get called up, you're allowed to back down and play both now or on the playoff roster. Right. So there's some of these teams that could have been depleted. Maybe had some decent teams at the beginning of the season. The kids did well. They get called up to the ECHL. But now they can come back, So you could almost have these teams that even though they were a 7th place team, they may have some players now that could put them up into a top-tier team. I mean, I'll say this from the Havoc side, not the last 2 championships, but the one that was in 2010, that team was almost like a second different team that came in. That was just, it was the benefit of some of the guys that had came back down and played. And we can see that. There may be, I think Roanoke's one of those teams where they're a hot team right now, but they've got a lot of guys that were called up and they've kind of rebuilt that team. But then I guess on the other side too, it could be if the chemistry's not there and those guys haven't played with these guys. I mean, so it's a tough. I always tell Glenn all the time. To me, the coaching in the SBHL has to be one of the toughest coaching jobs that you can probably can you have, because it's you're going blind. It's not like you really get to watch a lot of video and plan on the teams that much. And then, these kids come out, and if a kid joins a team, probably no video of them to scout to find what kind of kid they've got added to the team or whatever. So, it's a challenge, but yeah, it's fun. I mean, like I said, I enjoy it. And I think that, the Huntsville fans, we had the fan appreciation night last night, and a pretty decent crowd last night. I didn't get the final total, but usually for a Friday, Saturday, one of the crowd nights will slack a little bit, but it looked like we had a good turnout last night. And then today's a special day. We'll get the rematch, which I always tell people, hey, the Saturday night game after a Friday game is exciting. There was a couple edgy situations. I think there'll be some tension there, and then our guys definitely going to be playing hard, and we'll see how that goes. But then also the Legends game that is coming up right around 5 o'clock. Doors open, and there's a lot of good players this year. Not saying that we hadn't had those in the past, but there's several of the older Channel Cat players. But then we've got some new, I guess the new wave of the Havoc retirees. It was kind of neat last night seeing some of them as they were hanging out. But like those people may remember Ray Ortiz. He'll be there. Peter Sakalis was one of the guys on the championship team. Kyle Sharkey. One of our good goalies we had there for a while, Keegan Asmundson, is going to be there. Some fresh faces for the Legends game, and like I said, it goes for a great.
I think we lost him.
Oh man.
No, with Todd, near and dear to his heart, but.
Yeah. And I hate I'm gonna miss tonight, man. I got my Legends sweater on right now from a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, but Todd Daugherty's always been my favorite, man. I love that big rascal, man, and he's going to be skating tonight, and he's a blast from the past for sure.
Jonathan Lounsbury, one of the guys that
actually, when I saw some of those names, I thought, wow, I can't believe they're actually still skating.
Yeah, it's going to be good, and then I think one of the cooler stories of it is John Gibson, Gibby, who was the coach of Havoc, played with the Channel Cats. His son, Easton, has autism, and Easton is going to be playing tonight. And Gibby has said that they will skate a shift and play on the same team for one time, and then this will be his last time lacing up the skates and getting out on the ice.
Yeah, and I'm so happy for the both of them. I've known them for a long time, and Easton's a special young man, and Gibby's a great dad. So how cool is that to be able to skate in a game with your son? That's awesome.
Absolutely. The father-son moments, I'm the same way with my kids. It's like when you get those moments where you can actually, I don't say necessarily passing the torch, but I mean where you get to have that moment where whatever your passion was, you get to share with your kids' passion is a very special thing. And I mean, to me, there's a lot of fun things that happen with sports, but those stories and those moments are to me what keeps me hooked all the time. I know Gibby's a softie, and he'll probably be tearing up, and he'll be one of these ones where I'll probably choke up a little bit because I remember, I've been with the Havoc for 16 years, and my first 2 years that I had with the Havoc was, Gibby's last two, and I've seen Easton as a little bitty boy, and going up. So to see that, and now he's about 6'4", 6'5". He's a big kid now.
He's a man.
Yeah. So, but it'll be a good night. And so, people, if they want to catch some hockey, the cost of the Havoc ticket gets you to see the Legends game too, so you can actually see two hockey games tonight. So definitely a fun time over at the VBC, and wrap out the home stand here with the Havoc.
Yep. Now just switched over to basketball real quick. You're a big basketball fan, obviously.
Oh, absolutely.
What are your thoughts on the Final Four tonight, especially UNC Duke?
Me being a basketball fan, I of course, being a Kentucky fan, I don't have the love for Duke like that you think, because every year we see that one 1992 Lakers shot that it just seems will never go away.
It's not going away.
No, yeah, you'll see it for the next 50 years.
Just like as an Alabama fan, we see the stinking return after
the kick six. I'll see kick six for now.
That's y'all's kick six. So we understand.
If I were to put money on this, which I won't, I really think that the moons have kind of aligned for Coach K.
I do too.
I wouldn't bet it. I mean, you think about it. You're playing at your final game at Duke, and North Carolina comes in and kind of sort of embarrasses them a little bit.
Sure did.
In that final game.
Sure did.
Coach K and the Duke guys, I guarantee, will be giving it everything that they have to beat North Carolina in this one. And
I think Duke's got it.
And I'm gonna be honest, and y'all, and I want y'all to think about this during the night, of course, the game, and I hope I'm proved totally wrong. But and I don't know if it's human nature. I know nobody's. I'm not a conspiracy theorist like somebody from the NCAA is telling the officials when they sit down with them tonight, hey, if there's a call and go one way or the other, let's make sure Coach K gets the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, no.
But I'm telling you, y'all mark it down. The officiating is going to stink tonight.
Yeah. Okay. I'll text
the whole
you.
tournament.
Yeah, that's
true.
Honest. That's
every
very
game,
true.
regardless who was playing.
That's
I mean, for me though, like I said, honestly, I think the story's lined up for K.
I do too.
But I am, if I'm going to stick to my blue blood, the North Carolina, Kansas, and Duke, I want no success from any of those individuals for being Kentucky fans, so I would probably be pulling for Villanova, but I just don't think they have. Those teams are firing. I mean, you got to look at it. Kentucky played Kansas, in Kansas, beat them by 18. If you remember, North Carolina was not on the Kentucky schedule. It was a fill-in because Louisville had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So Kentucky was able to fill in a Western Kentucky game and a North Carolina. Yeah, we did North Carolina that came in. Actually, wasn't it? It was that wasn't the Louisville game. It was another one. But then it beat North Carolina by 20. So it's like, how do you have two teams that
Isn't that crazy?
Lost like that?
It is pretty crazy. And well, Clay, I really appreciate you coming on the show as you always do. We always appreciate your insight and always appreciate you joining us on the Tailgate Talk. And
thanks, guys.
We wish you well as always.
Appreciate it. You too.
See you, buddy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is another edition of Applebee's Tailgate Talk wrapped up. We, in the words of Tom McClung, we don't have to go home, but we can't stay here. So we are going to go in and get out of here. I am 1 out of 12 Dodson, alongside producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert and the bod of the Todd, signing out.
You've been listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk live on location. You can hear the archive of this and other shows online at tailgatetalk.net. Join us next Saturday at 10 a.m. on 1080 WKAC. Applebee's Tailgate Talk is a production of Play Action Sports on 1080 WKAC.